All right, we need to try to get some tractors moved around here, and we're gonna get started on that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. Super 55. This little feller hasn't been run all year, and I want to use it for something. So, yeah. Step one, battery. I've been buying batteries like it's going out of style, you know? But I'm a firm believer in, if you want to use them, they better have a battery in them. Because if you think that you're going to take a battery out of something else, and then you'll come back to it and whatever, you won't. It's like, if you know that this one doesn't have a battery in it, you're going to jump on something that does and leave this one sit. And that ain't good for nobody. So, we want to try to revival it. However, on the way over here, my ADD brain thought, we haven't run this in a while. Let's start it and make sure that it still is with the chat, you know? It was another one of those tractors that we finally, I think, cracked its secret code to why it never ran good all my life. When we figured out that the bar was put in upside down in the coil. So, let's see if this will fire to life. It's been a long time. Like, I don't know. Come on. There you go. Runs beautiful. Oil pressure, charging. Yeah, I shut the gas off, so it should die any minute here. We'll let it run out of gas. There we go. Good deal, friends. That thing would never do that before, you know? It was always up to no good, and I'd have to mess with it for a half an hour every time before I wanted to start it. So that coil really helped it. Now onto this sad sack. I'm sure that we're going to be sanding the points. So, oh, there's a mouse, and I think it was giving birth. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A mouse dragging other mice along. Okay, sure. But we need to get potentially to the other side of this rig to get to the thing that we need to do. What's our oil look like? It's still got oil in it. This, of course, friends, is an early one, which you may or may not realize because it's got that ordeal there that starts it up, foot pedal, just like the rest of the diesel supers almost had. And it's actually on the other side, and then it rods over here, and then very complicated, but it works. So we need to be on the other side though, because that's where all the action is. All of the stuff we need is over there. This thing, Super 66, it wouldn't start last time. I tried to move it out of here, so we got to mess with that too, because it's right in the way of this, you know. All right. I'm betting, well, there is actually fuel in there. However, There's a lot of rusties in there too. So it'd probably be a good idea to firstly take this off, empty the sediment bowl, drop all the pieces to the ground and lose them. That's an important step. Oh, that's good. We got good flow. So I don't know why we have such rusty sediment bowl action, because we have good fuel flow. I'm sure we'll be messing with carburetor on this too before too long, because it's been a long time since this was really messed with. You see, this tractor has a slight hydraulic problem, so it doesn't lift to full capacity, and that's kind of a problem. I'm also kind of remembering now, I wonder if it had a float that's bad in it. I'm thinking back, friends. I'm thinking back to the last time it ran, and I was thinking that it was acting goofy. Maybe I'm wrong. This maybe isn't necessary, but I'm almost positive that we'll probably end up there anyway. So why don't we just start here? Why don't we just start by sanding on the points? All right. Well, let's put this back on, and we'll go for broke. I'm sanding the rotor, if you wonder what's happening off camera. I thought maybe that would be a nice thing to do. You know, help it out a little. Awesome. I dropped that. Another one of these tractors, these little Super 55s, 550s, are so compact, they just don't hand me very well. All right, little tractor, will you run? Let's let you watch that, because that's something anyway. Wow! Is it flooded? It shouldn't be. It's kind of acting like it, isn't it? That's why I'm wondering if last time didn't we discover that it had a bad float or something? Okay, so if I turn on the fuel, it wants to kill it, so it's getting too much fuel. I got the fuel shut off right now. And I would say that it's just absolutely slammed with fuel, and that's why it's acting that way. We can try it again, see if it'll start. So what are you looking at there? Well, I'm betting that if I take the carburetor off, we will find that the float has a hole in it. And what happens then is that the carburetor is totally overloaded with fuel. As in, the whole time you got the gas on, it's just overflowing it in there. And I would say that's what's happening, because if I turn the gas on, it starts to flood and whatever. And then if I shut it off, it runs good until it runs out of gas. And so that's where we are. So I will need to acquire some, like a 1/2-9 wrench there, to be able to do what I need to do, because that should take everything loose that's on here. We'll pull this carburetor off of here, and I should have other floats on hand. I try to keep all that stuff on hand, because stuff like this happens now. Our floats are not made like they were used to, you know, they're like paper thin, and it doesn't take much for sadness to happen. So at any rate, also, I am not exactly sure that this carburetor is any good. If I remember right, when I got it, the carburetor that came with it was garbage, and I made this one out of 2 of them. And it may be that this carburetor is toast, but it did run before, even if it had to have the choke out a little bit. So that's why I'm guessing right now that we got ourselves some float issues. So let me go grab the wrench we need, and we'll pull that off of there and take it apart. And it should be blatantly obvious if the float's bad, because it'll be real heavy and you can hear liquid sloshing around in it. So yeah, let me go grab the wrench. All right, friends, well, the sun is going to be setting on us pretty soon. So we're probably not going to get this done today, but at least I was able to get started, you know. At least if you get started on a project, you're that much farther. I want to do the actual farm tasks with this. I have a job that it does pretty good. Basically sitting in one spot is the job that it has to do, but it's handy. I'm gonna get the hitch off of the 1365 to do what I want to do with it, but that's okay. 1365 is hooked to the feed wagon, so that will leave this able to do what I want here. Oh, these, I forgot. These Super 55s and 550s, instead of a pin, the pin is made to that end of the rod turnbuckle thing, and it's kind of hard to get the clip in there sometimes if you, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Well, no, I should have a screwdriver here. Yeah, I was gonna say, I just had one a minute ago. Just had one a minute ago. Ouch. Yeah, I ran it, and now the manifold and everything's burning hot, so there we go. All right, let's just take it apart here and see what we got. We really need to take that needle out before we put it back together, but you can do this way as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, so you don't do a foolish thing. Because the needle sits in there at an angle, and you can miss the place that it needs to go, is what I'm saying, and then end up bending the needle instead of actually doing the thing that you need to do. It's one of them, friends. It's one of them trick things that you gotta do. Also, how's my gasket? Well, it pretty well stayed on the tractor. There's a few remnants of it here where it's ripped. Oh yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong, but I don't know what that something is. Maybe it was just rusty. That doesn't really... Yeah, that's working. Okay, that looks like a brand new one too. Well, it's got rust in it. That's for certain. There's your needle. I guess it's good that we don't have the trouble that I thought we had, but at the same rate, I'm not real sure why, other than that maybe it was rusty on that pin. Makes a guy want to clean this pin up real good. I think that's what I'll do. I'll clean the pin real good. Then we will put this back together. I mean, I guess I could find another pin. I probably got one laying around. But I'm thinking that's probably what the issue is now. Is it just... this pin had rust on it. Maybe it wasn't letting that float pivot like it should. Because really, this float is pretty darn good. It's just that pin and this float aren't agreeing with each other, so yeah. I'll go clean some stuff. Maybe bring a little of the magic elixir back to clean out that carburetor slightly, and then we'll try it again. Because it did run good, it was obviously getting too much gas. So, yeah. All right, friends. We are back. We brought some magical brake clean. The magic elixir that makes all things new. And we'll see if this don't make our float be all floaty again. I don't understand how it would have got quite so rusty, but I mean, it's sat a while. That's the unfortunate blight of everything. Yeah, there we go. That's floating good. All right, let's set that aside a minute. Let's check out this bowl of sadness. All right. Well, we got it clean. I mean, nothing appears to be plugged up. Some of the sides appear to have some schmutz on them, but let's... I'm sure this was rebuilt. I rebuilt it and then it just sat here, so now we gotta try to make sure we get that done right. I hope this fixes it, because if it doesn't, I'm kind of at a loss for what our trouble could be. We have good fuel flow to it. We just need to regulate that fuel so it doesn't get out of hand. Sure. Let's make sure our choke's all the way in. Let's feed it back through. Let's feed it back through. All right. Now, we need our little cotter pin, which we probably lost. Most definitely, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we lose that? Sure. We should probably make that more cotter pin shaped it's not, it kind of lost a little bit of its shape there. Well, that ain't pretty, but it does the job. Alright, that's gonna go just fine. Oh, we need to put the fuel line. And now we got another trouble. We got the phone ringing just like crazy. Yeah, we'll get it there, phone. Alright, friends, that's back together. Let's turn the fuel on. Again, probably be better to go to the other side. And we'll try to start it again and see if that don't make her do what she's supposed to do. Okay. Super 55. Gas on. Gas looks pretty good, actually. Well, why would you do that? Are you still flooding out? Maybe our carburetor's not set right anymore. I think we helped it, but dang! Okay, you didn't like that. That's fine. Come on. Well, you didn't like that either. Well, I got it to run pretty good, except for the fact that you gotta have the choke out, and you gotta have it out different. If you want it to idle, you have to have it in one place, and if you want to run it wide open, you have to push it in a little bit. So, that to me tells me that it's got a, like the idle circuit's plugged up on the thing. I don't know. Runs pretty. Oil pressure gauge doesn't work though. That's a common theme around here. Those oil pressure gauges give up the ghost. I mean, it's very obviously got oil pressure, or you would hear it clickety clacking. So the line's not leaking. Got lights. Boy, that's annoying. The rattling from the drawbar. Oh, got him right there. Start back up. No, it doesn't want to idle. Okay, fine, don't idle then. Yeah, it's a very definite way you gotta have it. But it runs beautiful. We just probably, I really need to investigate getting a better carburetor, because that one is garbage. It's made out of 2 or 3 carburetors, and I don't think it's playing nice. But this is good enough to do what I want to do with it. We just got to get it out of here and go. This is the worst part about these early ones. This flapper thing, and then trying to get gas in it. It's so small. It's such a small gas filler. Looks good though that it's not rusty. But that's fun. It's running again, which it hasn't been for a while. It just doesn't show any oil pressure, which is a bummer. There's no way to see up in there either. Sure. Well, that's one off our list. Now we got to get that to run so we can get it out of here, so we can get this one out of here. So I'll probably add that in. Now it'll be tomorrow because it's going to get too dark in here, but yeah, we'll try to get that one going. Well, we got 3% battery, but we can mess with this. I'm betting, well, last time I had it running and then it died. And if it's like that 66, it gave me a run for my money to get it to the fair. It was really causing a lot of trouble, but those points look horrendous. I would say that this is very much our problem. This is the cheap line points. That must have been all they had whenever I did this, and this is why I don't like them. They're even worse about this than anything else. They just corrode up, just sitting in the shed. Sometimes you'll even get them to run for a second, and then you'll drive them out of the shed and they'll die. And you're like, what is going on? But it's because of points quitting firing. I guess that's probably all right. I'm sure that it's dead, but we can try for fun to see if it'll crank it over. No, it don't have nothing. It don't have nothing. But that's okay. We can, I really wanted to see them go together. But yeah, that brought them together. So we know they're opening and closing. So we will put this back together. Maybe I'll go get another battery and we'll see if we can get it to run. It's just amazing how time gets away from you. I mean, it seems like just the other day I drug this home out of the woods and put all that stuff on it. And that's been like 5 or 6 years now. That was, I think I was working on it during the Corona time. So I had got it just before that happened. So it's been at least 5 years. And we haven't even finished it. What a shame, but it's getting there. All right, it's unannounced and tog, and we're going to see if we can get this to run. Still got oil in it. That's good. Poor little thing. Brand new engine, and it's barely even run. I mean, it's just sat most of the time. Let's see if it'll come to life. We're at 8.2 volts, so I would say that's probably part of our issue. Come on, baby. Okay, well, that did not produce fruitful results. Let's go back over here and double check what we got going. And of course, I think I carried away the screwdriver and all that. When I got this tractor, the distributor was so full of ants. I think I replaced it. I don't think this is the same one, because that other one was horrendous. All right, let's do 12 volt. I don't think we got nothing. Now the next question is our issue, I suspect that this tractor's real issue is that key switch. That key switch is horrendous. And I'm betting that that is probably what our issue is. Let's put this back together in case I walk away and don't come back. But I'm gonna go get the test light. That should be close. The pickup's right here. But I'm gonna do some testing and see if I even get voltage up here. But I suspect that that crappy key switch is the problem, because it kind of like, sometimes it misses out, and I think it's the key switch not playing nice. So let me go grab that and we'll see what we can do. All right, we are armed with stupidity, so anything is possible. Now, let's just, I'm gonna put this on the negative of the battery somewhere. He says as he doesn't do that thing. All right. Key. Ooh, no, there. Well. Yeah, that key's kind of rickety. I mean, if I jiggle it, you can see it change. There, it totally went out. Well, how can this be? Well, now that's odd. Maybe it's because the points are together. That might be messing with my. That might be messing with my reading. No? Well, check that out, friends. I have power here, but I don't have power here. That's a problem. Oh, there's the problem. Okay. Results are in. I didn't even notice that. This wire has cancer, and the cancer has killed it. So that wire is not making connection anymore. And it was turned in such a way that I couldn't see. I thought it was odd that it looked kind of puffy. But, okay, we're going to replace this wire, and then I bet you we'll have vroom vroom. All right, I think I got some stuff here. I guess I'll have to set it up out of the way first. Let's get rid of this junk one. That's something. I don't know if certain types of wires attract this kind of stuff worse than others, because occasionally I've had this happen, but not very often. I mean, especially not like here on something that's out in the, like this one's just been in the shed, you know? Anyway, a guy just pulled in the driveway a second ago, and we got another service call now to go on sometime. I told him it'd be a while. He's not in a hurry. He's he quit farming, so he's trying to get rid of stuff, and he's got something that needs attention, so we'll do that one day. Come on. Hey, I dropped it, but the frame caught it. If you can appreciate that. Let's take a look at this, because like I said, this ain't a very often thing. I wonder if this was a wire that oh, this was actually a red wire. And now it's, I wonder if I salvaged that from something. That's probably what I did. And that's what I'm gonna put right back on it, is another wire that I salvaged from something. So, I guess I don't learn my lesson, huh? All right. That ought to do us a little bit better than what we had. Well, it's hard to get to. This is another one. The oil pressure gauge is not working. And I took this off, and of course it's got oil pressure. And I can't remember if I ruined this line. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna call the place tomorrow, and I'm gonna say, have you ever had trouble with oil pressure gauges? Because I got like 3 of them that aren't any good. Also, you always want to bring the correct tool for the job. Bring this gigantic pliers instead of a wrench, so you can't get it tightened. Yep, there we go. Now I bet we're gonna have something. There, let's put the top back on, because I bet it's gonna run. I bet now it will fire right to life, and there's no need to. All right. Let's do a light. Uh-oh. Well, I got it nowhere now. I guess my battery is so dead. No light. Oh well. We'll turn the jump pack on and go. See what happens. Jump pack. You don't know how to act when you can get full power. And it's even charging the battery. The gauge doesn't work, but oh, there it goes. I tell you, these gauges lately, I've had a lot of trouble with the longevity. Try not to knock ourselves unconscious. Gets run, so can I weasel it out of here? Gas is in it, so I probably shouldn't go too far. napkins around it? Sure. We need to get a new battery for this one too. And then maybe we can keep using it. Boy, that thing runs beautiful now. I bet that wire was junk the whole time. I bet it was junk and it was letting it miss out. It's got a little flutter to it, but I mean, it's been sitting so long. That's probably full of trash, that gummed up. Whatever. Let's see if we can get this out of its grave here. All right, now you ran yesterday, so let's run today. I think our toe end needs adjusted a little bit. One wheel is doing something different than the other one. See, this tractor, whoops, killed it. This tractor, the charging gauge is messed up. It doesn't look like it's in the center anymore, but it does move. The oil pressure gauge doesn't work. Verdict is out on the temperature gauge. Kind of a bummer that a guy spends money on stuff like that and it doesn't last any longer than that. Oh, you need a good running. A good day's worth of work would do that thing a world of good. But sure. Let's take the Super 55 over. It is kind of cute. I haven't messed with it for a long time. This one was definitely a basket case when I got it. Tire is flat too, so that's great. The 1365's in the barn. Let's drive close by there and see about choke. Still not running great, but maybe let's have some actual speed. Oh yes, I remember now. this one, something is not quite right. Let's just shut it off. This is one of those projects here. Like I said, it came out of a basket and I just never got any farther on it. But we need to work on the steering because that ain't right. But that may not be today's project. I want this hitch off of this tractor. Of course, there's a chain on it. Why wouldn't there be a chain on it, you know? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to build more of these hitches so that I don't have to keep moving them on and off of stuff. Oh yeah, we need to tie those arms together before we go. Somebody sent me a bunch of tarp straps one time for that reason. I don't know what I did with those. I built this hitch for this tractor, so it should play nice. Oh, you know what it would help though? Is if you put it on the right way. Right now, I can't put the top link in because it's in backwards. Dummy. You big dummy. There. See, things were learned when I built that. I should have used something bigger than that so that I had room for that to go in there better. But whatever, you know. Life is, it's just one of those things. Let's drive this over now to where the thing is that we need that for. Whoa, horsey, whoa! Yeah, I need to get a pin, but tractor. Ooh. Gravity will move it. Let's shut the gas off. All right, I need to get a pin for in there. But spinning Jenny. I bought this spinning Jenny thing from the farm store one time to try to help me by myself move these rolls of wire and that. And I wasn't happy with it. Pretty rickety. You're supposed to put that spike in the ground and then let it sit. But what would happen is the corners of this would hit the ground and you wouldn't be able to pull it by yourself. So then I got the idea, hey, why don't I weld that thing to a piece of tube and stick it in the back of the tractor, and then if I do need to set it on the ground still sometime, I left the spike in there so you could set it on the ground and use it just like it was made, or you can put it in the tractor and have it up in the air. And it is super more handy. And so what I usually do is I drive this tractor to the end of wherever I'm going to build the fence and just leave it sit, and then I can pull my wire by myself, and I'll take another tractor like the 550 or whatever and use it as my shuttle back and forth or whatever I need to do. But yeah, this is super more handy. Oh, there's a pin. I don't need to get another one. I thought there should be one with this. I was not thinking, friends. I know, that's a shocker. I gotta figure out which way I gotta go here. There we go. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. It's been sitting here ready to go for for building fence. I still got some wire, but what I think I'm going to do is take it, and usually I don't use this kind of wire for temporary wire, but I don't know, I might just put a more permanent temporary wire for now. I need to go along the woods and run some type of wire so that they don't hop the fence and leave town when I put them in this outer field out here. And that's what I want to do. I want to graze them on it before it's too late. Let them mow it off, and then I'll try to mow it off and overseed it if I can get all that done. I've wanted to for the last several years, and I never get anything done. So I'm going to have to just force myself to get it done. But anytime I can involve another tractor in my playtime, that makes life better. So that was the plan with all this shuffling around. But we got this out. We'll get some air in that tire, and then it's ready to go build fence. I just got to make it happen. So until next time, we're going to leave this one here. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.